You produced Judgment Day by Dizmo. You've produced Triple M's, one of the biggest songs in the country. Ambuye, Yo Maps, it was one of also the biggest songs in the country off his album Try Again.
Yeah.
Let's talk about all these few things. Are these challenges? And like I said, we now have Mellar Beats on deck. I don't know which intro should I say. Easy did it right when he came on the show.
It's the one. It's the same one.
Mellar Beats. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, big man. I don't know about you.
If you in the shani, kuma production, kuma Mellar Beats uko, ku studio.
They didn't complain.
Okay.
I can't complain. It's bueno.
Okay.
Bueno, son.
So
for expect actually.
Okay. Let's talk about your works, man. You have been in the industry for a long time. You've been producing all these songs, big songs. Maybe let's do a review on some of the works that you've done. I might know them. I know them.
Yeah.
And the funny part is that even the other guests that came through might even know the works. And I was even asking him, saying, when it comes through, I want you to recognize him. And he said, Zina ni Zila. But I don't know how it looks. But before we get about the looks and the branding, let's talk about some of the works that you've done.
Well, in this short period of time, like I could say for the past 7 months, I've worked on Triple M's featuring Yo Maps song, that Again one. I'm pretty sure that might be like Triple M's biggest song right now, and I'm proud of that because it's not easy getting such works, and just the process itself, you get to overthink things. And also I think I've worked on it's a lot, sometimes I don't even keep track because I'm all about creating and releasing.
You need to keep track. It's your CV.
I don't. I really don't.
It's your CV.
Because I can remember the recent ones, but the old ones, people might be like, oh, you did this, you did that, and I've even forgotten about them. But one of the biggest is Judgment Day by Dizmo, the same Again. Then there is Mpalen by Triple M, Ambuye by Yo Maps, Banabanga by Bobby East, and some other projects that I just touched on, not precisely like produced them myself, but had a hand in, So that's like most of Yo Maps' stuff and Blackout stuff because I'm under Blackout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
let's talk about the Stash.
Exactly.
The C-Mac.
Yeah.
How's it going? How do you guys work?
Well, first of all, that is like one huge family to start with. So we have a lot of producers, and for you to actually be able to be recognized outside to say you are part of that family, you have to be at least doing some damage in some type of way in the industry, right? Because we have so many great producers like the ones you mentioned, Stash, C-Mac, we have me, we have SQ Beats. Like for you able to penetrate through that whole space to start with, you have to like keep up with it. I can't complain. I don't know to the artists because artists always complain about some stuff you may not be even aware of, but as much as I'm concerned, we good. Yeah.
Let's talk about the brand. Let's start with the brand. This is when you guys, producers, are now coming out and saying we need to be on the interviews, we need to push our brand as also production because it's important for you, for your business. What took you so long, you guys? Like, why? Why have you always wanted to be in the background? Like, why now?
Well, quite about the situation in there, but if a person can capitalize on your setbacks or maybe your lack of knowledge, they won't tell you what to do, right? So it is the same thing when I walked in. You asked the big man previously, like, do you know Mellar Beats, shine? Or maybe you said, do you know that person? And he didn't know me. I'm not mad about that, and I can be upset because I know why. It is because we think, or we used to think, being on TV, being on interviews was only the performing artist's job, or the space where a person who goes on stage to do something because that's where they are making their money. And also the knowledge to me being on TV, how important that is. We didn't have that because I'm a producer. I work with audio stuff, right? I don't see any reason why I should be on TV, really. But now you are finding, like, when you look at South Africans, you will see that a producer featuring an artist and they have a music video. That is like me myself. I don't take myself as just a producer, a music producer, a sound engineer. I'm also a composer, right? So if I'm looking at myself like that, that means at some point I will want to release my own tracks. I want to brand myself, maybe become a DJ. So I need people to know me for them to be interested in me, right? So people who look at things in a way of, I'm just a producer and I make music, I was like that, and it is mostly the thing that keeps us from being on TV. And also it is because some artists get to like overshadow us from the real deal. If they don't know you, then they won't pay you much, because image wise, me as a brand, I need to be seen for people to attach a certain value to me, right? That's what I think. I'm sure. I don't know to others.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the few concerns. Just previous, we had Burning Tosh was talking about some of the challenges that he's been going through.
Yeah.
And he mentioned some points. Opinions are very important. Dialogues is very important, just to get other people's opinions also.
Yeah.
So it's coming from an upcoming point of view. He complains. I don't want to call it complaining. He gives his opinion based on his experience with other producers. I'm not saying it's you.
Yeah.
So he says you pay too much attention to the renowned artist compared to the upcoming artist. But these are the guys that pay you the money that you guys charge, compared to the big artists, saying most of them, they don't pay you money. So maybe I would like to get it from you, from your perspective. You mentioned you produced Judgment Day by Dizmo. You have produced Triple M's, one of the biggest songs in the countries. Ambuye, Your Maps, it was one of also the biggest songs in the country off his album Try Again.
Yeah.
Let's talk about all these few things. Are these concerns true, or maybe how does it work for you?
So on that subject, yes, it is true, first of all.
Okay.
That is true. So it comes down to what you want as a producer. First of all, it is bad ethics if you are not telling the people you are working with what is up. Because for starters, me, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't know to others. But for me, I can see to say, from this artist, what am I getting from? Because I'm not looking always about the money, despite it being my career and I want to take it so serious that it's paying my bills and stuff like that. But I'm not looking at it to say, it is music, I gotta just make any track, whatever. Because if I'm producing a song, I treat it as my own thing. It's not an artist's work anymore. It's not whoever's work. It's our thing now. Since I'm composing too, I'm writing music. They are coming in with their lyrics. They are coming in with their ideas, whatever, but the final thing will come from me. So I'm gonna compose the melody. It's like Easy said on the other interviews, like people don't dance to videos and stuff. So if I'm working with an artist, I'm looking at it like, what am I getting from him? Or what am I getting from her? Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to move, at least be at a certain level at a certain point. So if I receive an upcomer, I gotta analyze what their sound is about and how much content people will relate to coming from them. And if I see that it's just an artist who is like doing music for the pleasure or the name, or attention, I will want just money from them, and I will do the work, of course. That moment where you have like a big artist is not paying you, me personally, I know what I'm getting from that. First of all, I will want exposure from them, which doesn't require me to make them pay, because if I make them pay a certain fee, even them posting my stuff, sharing me as a producer who worked on their stuff will be hard. Because
which one should come first? Sorry to cut you. Which one should come first? Don't you feel you need resources? That is money.
For what?
From the upcoming artist, despite you wanting a name from the big artist.
So
I'm just trying to get it from your statements, saying what you want from the big artist compared to, okay, let's try to put across this upcoming artist, talent tapari. But they have the resources. They give the resources. And from your explanation, you accept that money. You get it. Okay? So we all know what money means. The word money is someone paying on demand, because there's an exchange. It's a trade.
Exactly.
I pay you, you give me something in exchange with that trade. So don't you feel money should be the first thing that you should look at? Because to buy equipment from the studio, you need money. To do other things, you need all these things. Transportation, you to move from coming from the studio, coming to this interview, you needed money. So don't you feel money should come first?
No.
Okay.
Personally, I don't think so.
Okay.
So, kulaba ma scenarios I have sana, na ma states I have sana, which everyone comes from, right? So for me, I had the privilege to at least get to one of the biggest labels when it comes to like recording, which is Blackout. So I will say money wasn't much of a big deal for me, because I was already going to a place where that was there already. And we have people who are building from scratch. I don't know if I may say some of them are egotistic, some of them don't just have people who they can work with who has those type of resources. So they will start with working for the money so that they build themselves up. Me, I didn't start like that. Me, I already had a studio that had everything. I could just polish my craft there. So for me, I started with working on my brand, my name, my image, so that at least when I create that, even these artists that maybe I'm upcomer or whatever artist wants to work with me, I already have an image. They are following my trend. So for me, it's different. But then we have people who jumps in with the money, right? They'll be like, okay, let me acquire the money. I want to buy a mic. I want to buy maybe a sound card. I want to buy speakers. Them, they do it for the money. Me, on the other hand, I'm saying that the money is not that important. It is important, but I didn't start it as a mission to say I got to get the money so I get this. Right about now, I have my own personal setup, and it's funny because most of the sounds that I've made, I made them in my bedroom. Yeah. So most of the biggest sounds I have, most of the biggest songs for people I've produced, I made them in my bedroom setup. And that's like a choice I make because I'm comfortable there. We already have like the main Blackout studio, everything is there, but it's just not that. So going back to that thing, the guy was saying to say we respect more of the big artists than them. That's like it's like I said, I'm getting publicity from them, because for him to come to me, that means that he saw my work and he hears how I make my sounds. It's because of the big artists. But then and they won't put their mind to it, and of course they'll put the mind to the bigger artists because they want to be having that cloud of saying, oh, when you produce all sang on a banana, when you produce all this shabana, and that people feel good at that. Me, I don't care about a person saying we are sang on a banana, we are sang on a banana. At the end of the day, is my work relevant? Is it good? So I will pay more attention to an upcomer than a big artist, depending on the day and time and what I want from them and what they have to offer. Because for me, most of the times, a lot of times, it's not even about the money. Like, do you have a good song? I don't care if it flops, but is it good? Did it reach at least the people it was supposed to reach? If it did, then I don't have no problem like paying attention to them. But most of the times you find that the people who complain at Statuba pay attention, shine, they don't even care about the craft. And you can see that before they even do a song. You can see that one, the plan you could drop it. Two, na craft to bapang the tamuni content idioms. Three, they're just doing it to bang your rim or I supposed to do not pay the time and you say. Then we post a few rim pa nipashana pa post a mani pa boomble. Watch tana sheo mukumo like. First of all, you are killing me to start with, and you are killing yourself. If I make a song for a bigger artist, I don't care what they do. They already have the publicity for that. Immediately, post they got a better chance of making it a hit song. So it's both our problem and the artist's problem. So I wouldn't say that we are saying, but sometimes it's not our fault. It's the artist's fault, and sometimes it's our fault. So everybody takes the blame.
Maybe in Remax, I know Mr. Chip was giving me a sign. Time is on our side. I also want to talk about, I know I had so many questions, but because due to time, I also want to get to find out issues to do with copyright.
Yeah.
Someone posted something on their social media saying 90% of most producers in Zambia sample beats.
Okay.
Maybe we don't know what really happened to the Poverty song by Roberto. Until now, we just saw here that the owner for the beat from Kenya claimed the rights back. So the song is no longer on his YouTube after reaching 1 million views. Maybe Remax with copyright issues. A quick one, a quick review. I'm sampling my beats.
So on that situation, first of all, that's bad to hear from the big man Roberto with his song. Secondly, I'm not happy about it, but on the producer's standpoint, I'm kind of happy that that's happening. Because, you know, there are people who invest in their craft, right? People take time to buy what they use, the softwares, the samples, the whatever, everything they use, they take time to buy. Then we got these YouTube producers who feel like they can just do whatever they want, which is clouding the whole industry when you say like, my producer is very full of shan. So you find that then baya pa YouTube baya for ayo tuma samples babo mfisha muri mmomori amwine babo la bapangira mosong yawo wamonaka. So malasanga a lot of things they put out to be free, it's not free. There is a catch to it. So their producer that they folk which they invest but they folk panga 1 million mufin to fia fudi. That's what's making them go down, because everybody samples. Me, I sample. I won't even lie to that sample because some people go like, element. Yes, because I'm a fan of music, and they say that a great artist borrows, but an amazing artist steals, right? So for me, if I have the capability to steal something that will make my production better, I will. But I will do it in like an official way, like legal way, where you know that okay, nadivu la sample maybe na ivakudi, maybe Omale, Joe Boy, whatever, but they won't copyright me because I bought that. Then kwa bana tuisa muksampule ya idi goya na bula fya karu mona aka chopping na koma machete video to apangira mo cheap beats to atumina na big artist na tuisho bati kudi possibility ya ba biggest song mukanju to amutumina without even thinking about such things. I don't know mama sangat ya ama samples kula bala vika limit. So I can, if I make a loop and I am selling it or I post it for free, I know in my head to say this loop might be used by somebody who is like way out there, and it might have a chance to reach 1 million views. So I will put like a threshold right there somewhere to say, as long as you mfyatakwanisha 1 million, they will be safe. Ngakwanisha 1 million, that's a lot of money. So now they're going to come back to me, which is me getting money, because nganabi kalupu ya free. I'm not expecting people to use it for the rest of their lives, and I'm not making money of it. So I will let the ones who had less views use it however they want. But if I watch post up a TV, but I get 1 million views in the conca. So people do that.
Yeah.
So me, the song I produced for Triple, the Again song, right? I use the loop. Even right now, I'm scared because the time I was producing that song, I didn't have the resources to buy the sample packs.
Again has 1 million views on YouTube.
That's like 6 point something. So I don't know if I'm okay, but I know for a fact that right about now where I'm at, I can go back and just buy the thing and I won't have any problem because I know what I used. I'm aware of that because I'm so aware of the copyright thing and the royalty thing and whatever that goes on. Even if I'm an artist, I'm to pay over to the worth, but that's a story for another day. I know that such things can happen. Even the time that song was hitting like 2 point something million views, because I wasn't paying attention, and I talked to Triple from time to time, and he was like, yo, have you seen how the song is moving? And I hated that song. So I was like, I don't even pay attention to that. So
Okay.
I see there and I'm like, okay, this is a big song. Now I'm checking it, it's like 6.8 something, and they still haven't gotten that the loop I used in the Karika Nishashti the Fondan. I didn't buy that. I just used like a simple loop, played something on top, I laid down, mixed it and whatever. It's a big song now. And in my head I was like, since I hated this song, I wasn't expecting it to do this good. Now I gotta be aware that somebody might come for me for that loop. So before that happens, I will find that loop, buy it officially, so that when something like that happens to the big man Roberto happens to me, I can have the proof, I can have the receipts, I can have everything they need. Because all they ask for is, okay, this person is claiming their rights to this song or this sample in here. You didn't buy this, or maybe you did. Show us the proof. Because if you buy something, you got receipts, right? You got licenses, that's what they call them. You got a license to a loop, a beat, or maybe a kick, whatever they are catching you for on that. So now, if you can't prove that, that means the song is gone. Because I don't think Boomplay cares about copyrights. I've heard a lot of songs where the big man Baila, I know that he buys his samples and all that, because he's such a big artist. He wouldn't use something if you're Vengavekata. That's embarrassing, really. So I've heard songs like, okay, I know he sample Pakiamu Tengo, and I hear a song that was produced by somebody who I know for sure that